Transfer. Welcome everybody to Legendary Tales. I fixed the sound problems before the session started today. That was good. Who has a recap? I assume that it's... Wait, why?
Yeah, rep, have recap.
What? I did this on purpose. What the heck? I literally changed your guys' overlays, and it just changed them back when I transferred. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Technician, do the thing.
Okay, so last session we started off at Inimont. Everybody sing it with me real quick. Inimont! Okay. And that is on the River Main, where there was a lock/dam project that was happening. We were at the end there. We woke up. There were a bunch of breakfast havers there, some laborers, and they were having eggs and various protein-laden dishes, as it was described to us. And so we decided to take off for court, and we decided that we were not going to take the rickety bridge, and we could not go over the dam yet as it was still being constructed. So instead, we had to take the raft ferry, which was one of those rafts that you pull along on a rope, and there's another one that goes the other way, and they were coordinated, so they met in the middle. There were inquisitors, and we avoided 2 inquisitors by jumping up a hole, Ann Hole, and hiding in Ann Hole. To avoid the inquisitors, and then we went across the ferry to the other side and made our way towards court. As we went through the forest to get there, and Lorchik got knocked out by a very large acorn, and we strapped him to a drake, to Ilya's drake, whose name I do not recall. What's the name of the drake? Artur. We strapped the Lorchik to the Artur, so we basically duct taped one lizard boy to another lizard boy. And double lizard boy. We invented the double lizard boy. And then continued on. We found a cave overlooking the city of Court to sleep in overnight, and we awoke to being tracked by some very thirsty Yvonne and Inquisitors who were rushing up the mountain to come find us. They had tracked us using some empowered locate. I'm sorry, what was locate creature? Or?
It was an empowered version of locate creature, yes.
Empowered locate creature. We went further into the cave and put some water between us and them, and then used another hole to hide from them. We barely avoided detection in that hole. So the 3 wanted people, Vidar, Rep, and Lorchik, stayed on one side of the rushing water, while the 2 people that the Empire of Artstadt is not really aware of or hasn't admitted they're aware of, Ilya and Sabis, went into court to find a place for us to eat stone back into. They actually did manage to bump into the person we're trying to find, but decided it would be best to bring the whole group back. We have a plan to get the locate creature off of us. And while they were gone, Lorchik gave us some background on himself and what's been going on in Lorchik land. And, I say Lorchik land, I mean Lorchik's life, but realistically, a little bit of a preview into the political landscape of Dahakoan. And that was very informative, even if he was forced to do the short version at the end of the session due to somebody just being a smartass. And that was it. That brings us to now. I think, actually, I think we yeet-stoned back. Yep. Yeah, we did. We yeet-stoned back to the warbands.
Yep, and we cut out, basically, just as you arrived back at the Blackstone Citadel in Goronsk. Met with essentially Casimir talking to Zarek, actually, is where we're at. You arrive, all of you arrive in the cold Blackstone Citadel, where Casimir has essentially shown up with Zarek in hand. He just looks at you guys. So, how was it?
Mildly eventful, a little bit terrifying. A lot of it terrifying.
I would assume as much, being in the true enemy territory. So, how does it look for the future? Are you heading back soon, I assume?
We are. We found our men, but there's a rather important obstacle, which is why we had to come back.
They are onto us.
Oh, really? How so?
Ivan showed up. He located us in a cave we were hiding in.
That rat bastard. So, do you have plan? Like,
Well, what we did is me and Elia were not wanted. Yvonne doesn't know us. Went into court, found our Soulforged. So the option is we eat in and spend hopefully less than 30 minutes finding him again.
good.
The only way for us to really get in there would be to thwart a locate creature spell that is empowered and Yvonne is using to track us as we are near court. The one way I know to do this would be to use Darcy's help to polymorph us.
This is true. I will go. You want me to go fetch her for you? Zarek would be able to do that better than I will. He's leader of refugees after all. They've started setting up camps in the fields in the east. So,
Zarek, can you please fetch Darcy and let her know that we will need her magics?
oh, of course. He just nods and then he bows deeply to you guys. Loershek, will you make a perception check for me, please? Where did the sound go? It didn't work. Okay, weird.
Who are those two people
Who? What two people?
that everyone's talking to?
So
Casimir I've met, but the other one is...
Casimir is this man's right here. He is a half-orc barbarian who wears very little, if no, clothing at any given moment. That is literally his well-known feature is that he literally wears as little clothing as possible. And then Prince Zarek is this guy. He is the leader of he's the son of the king of Nilhund, who was killed when the continent exploded, and he is a leader of the Nilhund refugees. So basically, all the citizens
in exile,
involuntarily. But the war bands were the only ones willing to accept refugees from Nilhund. So literally, pretty much all of the Nilhund citizens are here, and he's the one that has been declared as in charge of them. So,
okay.
And then Casimir is basically the right hand man of the leader of the Krasengrits, which is the Red Bear clan, which is the one that everybody but Sneck is part of. So Casimir is like Stanislawa's right hand man when it comes to doing literally everything. He was the one that oversaw the exodus from Novoshagut to Garansk, and yeah, that kind of thing. So, and then their two tokens are right here as well. This one's the one on the right is Casimir, and the one on the left is Prince Zarek. And Zarek is a drow, so he's a dark elf.
Important people.
Yes, very important people, very high up on the chain of command in this specific area. And then Darcy, basically a half an hour later or so. Is anyone doing anything for the first half hour, or are you all waiting together?
Chilling.
Oh, Loershik, as Prince Zarek walks away, you notice something weird. There is a small sort of shop, like a market stall, in like the big sort of like courtyard area of Garansk, and Emerald is there.
How far away from where we are?
Like 100 feet. He's talking to a bunch of high elves from Nilhund. And yeah, from here you can see the sign says Renault's Rations, and he's manning the stall.
Excuse me just a moment. I'm gonna go and find myself a snack, and I meander towards the booth.
Food.
Do you want to come with, Ilya?
I hunger.
Can't guarantee happy food, but let's see how this goes. We walk over to Renault's Rations.
Sure. You get over there, and Emerald looks at you very surprised. Hi.
I have many questions.
Most important question. Do you have meat pie?
I don't believe I have it in meat pie form. I could probably get someone to make you a meat pie if you'd like.
I must fill out meat pie form for meat pie.
No. It's not that complicated. What's your name?
Ilya.
I'm Emerald. I just got here earlier today, actually. It was a very interesting process. And as he says this, Bolo walks out because the stall is taller than Bolo. Bolo walks out from the back. Do I have Bolo's token? I thought I did. He's Hodieger. Here he is. So this is Bolo. He's the most fit goblin you have ever seen. He has 20 strength and 18 constitution. He's
adorable. Look at him.
He walks out and he goes, "Yeah, I found a volunteer to do some stuff over here." So,
volunteer?
Yeah, he came to us. What? Whoa. Oh.
Interesting.
He nods at you and walks away.
Emerald, what made you volunteer to work for Renault's Russians?
You could say proximity to things you care about is important. And
everybody with me now. Aww.
And I have realized that leaving my priorities up to fate in this time is the worst decision I've ever made. And for one, I would like to say that I'm sorry.
Well, I am excited to have you as an employee. I assume Vidar at this point has also perceived with his ridiculous perception what is going on, and he has come over.
I think his passive perception is like 28 or something. It's 21. His passive perception is 21. So, yes.
So he definitely sees.
Oh, no.
Vidar is definitely aware of everyone pissing around the camp.
He never has to roll. He very rarely ever has to roll perception for literally anything that I do. You know what the best part is? He doesn't have the observant feat.
Oh, God.
If he had the observant feat, it would be 31. Or 26.
Yeah, that was 5, not 10.
That would still be insane, though, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the best part is? He only has a 6. He only has a 16 wisdom. So, yeah, I came here to be closer to things I should have been closer to before.
Well, you're welcome to actually come on adventures with us, you know. Your help would be appreciated. But serving meat is definitely noble as well.
Actually, I found something. The reason I came here initially, and he goes into his bag. He goes into his bag and he pulls out a small wooden box that's super ornate. And the box has temper on it.
While he's doing this, I like to reach over the counter and grab what looks the nicest cut of meat that I see and just hand it to Ilya.
This will be tasty.
What kind of meat is it? What animal is it? How does it taste?
It's actually
3 of them, 4 of them.
It's actually wild boar. And it's actually like a big old. It's like a thigh meat on a boar, wild boar. So
was it a happy boar?
Yeah, it was actually.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was happy as hell. He's just a happy little guy. My mic
Ilya, Renault's Rations is actually the business that we've been investing in. It's also strangely enough, the headquarters for the Hodejager. So Hodejager, no one tells me exactly what we're calling ourselves. Anyway, we have store locations that also serve as bunkers of sorts for our clan, whatever you want to call us.
Oh, I know. Bolo told me everything, and he literally shows you like he shows.
I was talking to Ilya.
Oh, you're talking to Ilya.
Did I say Emerald?
He did. Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why my.
No, you said Ilya.
Yeah, you said me.
Okay. Maybe we can organize meat pies. I can invest 8 gold.
8 gold.
How about this? You invest no gold, and you tell us the recipe for a meat pie, and I'll make sure we carry them. So that way, whenever we see a Renault's Rations, we can get you a meat pie.
I must find recipe first.
If you talk to Bolo or Emerald, probably Emerald in this case, and tell them what it kind of is, they can come up with some concepts and try to get it close.
Close. True. Not good enough.
Ooh.
But then we can improve upon it. We can make Ilya's meat pie. Come and taste Ilya's pie.
Improvement is impossible when perfection exists.
We can make it perfect.
I can find perfect.
We can make it better than perfect.
Listen, Ilya, what do we got to do to talk you into these meat pies? What do we got to do to make sure you don't leave without a meat pie today? So.
I don't know.
We must find the recipe.
Finding the recipe is probably best. That should be better, Safari Fred, by the way. So, okay. While you're having this conversation, Emerald is like handing you the box, Lorishik. You taking it?
I grab it.
Are you gonna open it?
Die, turn to jade or something.
Are you gonna open it?
You said it's a wooden box with temper on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Is the temper in like any specific shape, like a rune or a circle or
anywhere that there would be metal on it, like hinges, clasps, locking mechanisms? It's all made of temper.
I gently say it on the counter and ask Emerald, so what exactly is this? And I take my finger and start to undo what I assume is there's a latch on the front. I undo the latch and kind of look at Emerald.
So, I was in the chamber with where progenitor should be. And I was looking, and I found this. It was hidden in like an alcove behind a wall that I had to dig the bricks out of to get to it, and just open it.
I slowly open it, kind of like do the whole lean back while I open it to see if anything's gonna pop out at me or explode.
I want to lean in towards it and just try and see what's inside it.
You slowly open it, and inside of it is, well, essentially, it looks very similar to an Eye of Moonball. Very similar. But there's something off about it when you're looking at
it. Emerald, what? You found an Eye of Moonball next to Progenitor?
No, it's not an Eye of Moonball. This is a conduit of void. So these...
How do you know that?
I had it.
Smells like void.
No, it does. Like literally, the second he opens it, it smells like the voice of or the soul void Soulforged. He looks at you and he says, "I had it identified by one of the people in the village, and when I got the information, it's unlinked. It's its own thing. So." When he made the pinions, the giant sort of nails that hold down the Soul Forgers, he created an offshoot of temper. So this is the literal raw essence of the creature that is void. And it's an infinite object. So when I say that, you can't destroy it. You can't remove it from this plane. You cannot. The amount of rules of the world that it is breaks. Pick it up.
As I pick it up, I look back to where Technician Sabas and I assume Casimir and Stanislava are and say.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys might want to come see this. I assume it's lighter than I'd imagine.
It has no weight to it. No, when you like, do you let go or like what do you exactly? How are you handling it exactly?
I just kind of I assume it's like in this box and some like velvety inside that's shaped to it. I just kind of scoop my hand underneath it and just hold it right out in front of my face like this.
Yeah, when you put pressure on it, it slowly starts floating off of your hand. Like it's unaffected by gravity as well.
I'll go up to it and like swing my hand underneath to make sure there's no string.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no string.
And you said this is a spherical object, right?
It is a perfectly spherical glass. It looks like an Eye of Moon ball in the size of it, but what as you're looking at it as it comes out into the light, it looks like it's made of the same material the pinions are made of. So when you're looking at it, you see galaxies and stars and like literally cosmos. It's almost like you remember when the Void Soulforge was created and that was what the heavens were. It's this inside of like a crystal ball or something. You're not really like a glass sphere that's filled with essentially. You're not really even I don't really know how to describe it. Like it's just wonder essentially.
So around that time, Rep Rap is going to walk up and say, "Amazing ball."
This is Emerald's ball.
Emerald, you have an amazing ball.
Thank you.
Emerald, how do we know that you bringing this here didn't just bring danger upon Garansk?
Because I looked it up, and I've been researching the technology and the artifacts that they have here. So Kuzma, Stanislawa, and all of the leaderships have this special artifact that they have that the very first of their generations made at the same time. So I've been looking into it. The time period is 3 literal ages ago. When I say ages, we're talking 100,000 years ago. Okay? The first war bands, the very first ones, created these artifacts. I don't know how to describe them. Essentially, they're focuses or foci that all they do is prevent people from divining anyone within a certain distance of those people. And for us, this is miles and miles. Like, this whole island is technically undetectable. The whole thing. You literally cannot use divining magic to see into it. It is. I actually even believe that if you were to get a wish in the form of a wish incantation, you could not see here. It's impossible to do it. Even as a god. And these have these artifacts have existed forever, as far as we know, and they've been handed down leader to leader to leader to leader up until now. And that's why this whole place is unmapped. It's why we know nothing about the warbands and why we never have known anything about them, because they exist in a bubble. Historically, they have forever. And bringing...
We should probably bring this to Kuzma and have you explain this with Kuzma present. Vidar, would you mind watching the stall, since you're part owner, while we go talk to Kuzma?
Yeah, he gets up right behind the desk, and it's just like, in his normal, sort of really awkward way, hello!
This is a good opportunity to be more social, Vidar.
Yeah, he takes it, and yeah, you guys go into... Kuzma has set up a small tent across from Stanislawa's essentially fortress, where her and the other leadership live at the moment. And Kuzma is one of the more important representatives of the war bands. He is of Suterica, and Suterica is essentially, they call them ghost talkers. Anyone who's a sort of cleric or shaman in their culture can talk to dead people all the time. It's just a thing. They can see dead people. They can talk to them literally all the time. When Callum...
So you have infinite history. You have...
Yes and no. It depends on if the ghost has moved on or if they brought it from a thing or if they just exist. Because recently the party has learned that when you die, and your ghost moves on, you go to the moon, and the moon is like a giant battlefield where basically everyone that dies there creates temper, and then there's a whole lot of stuff happening, really, when it comes down to whatever. Like every second that passes here is 16 seconds on the moon technician, right? We figured out.
Yes.
So literally this conversation is like 3 hours worth of conversation.
Why would a ghost stay here when like if someone dies, why would their ghost be here and not on the moon?
It depends on the circumstances of their death. If they had unfinished business, like, I don't know, getting revenge on a jilted lover, they might hang out and be a banshee in a bottle.
There's no real like concrete answer to that question that anyone has discovered so far, except for the fact that either you're kept here involuntarily, whether it's through soul stitching, revenge, like Yvonne's girlfriend that they have in a bottle right now. There's loads of reasons that people could stay behind or be left behind. And it's also sometimes the will of the gods. The gods will do that because someone like Callum is a super important person to have around as a resource. And that's why he was around, is because the gods were like, we don't want you on the Eternal Vision. We don't want you there.
You guys have this guy's girlfriend in a bottle, and you're wondering why he's fucking chasing you across the whole fucking land.
Ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
He left. So he left.
We saved him from once already. So.
He left her on a hill, and she got murdered.
Oh.
He ghosted her, and then she got killed as a result of him ghosting her.
And now she wants revenge?
Yeah. She wants revenge. Revenge is murder. Murder most foul.
There are no birds involved, but we'll leave that. I'm sorry. I have to put a bad joke on there. That was bad. That was really bad.
How dare you?
It was a good joke, though. You have to be real. You have to be real.
No.
It was good!
It was the standard joke for that particular Shakespeare line. So I give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yes, so Kuzma also is part of a culture that is basically, if someone dies in their culture, they also use every part of them. He wears, his great-grandfather's skull for a helmet, and like basically he's a very creepy man as a whole. Kuzma is sort of a being that exists that people are like, I don't know how to feel about you. But him and Loershik have gotten pretty close in their time.
Oh, yeah. Is this the guy that gave you a bag full of human skin?
No, that's Cyclop.
No, same clan though.
Same clan, but yeah. Yeah, so
I've gotten high with Kuzma before.
you have
Nice.
he has yeah, they had an experience together. Okay.
They had an experience together, and they also got high.
Fair enough. So you guys go into Kuzma's tent, his new tent, and yeah, it smells immediately of temper, essentially, like burning or like smelted temper. He's just sort of has this like musk around him at any given moment, and he's just chilling in front of a teal fire, sort of meditating. Who all is there? Is everyone coming, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragging the extra quiet Vidar along, just like pat him on the back, like yes.
No, Vidar is watching the stall. He's minding his business.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad joke. We're gonna go ahead and put that on there.
Did Stanislava and
It'd be
Casimir
really
come
funny to say to someone though.
No, Casimir is still apparently dealing with something. You're not really sure what it is, but he has his own mission for today. So he is on.
And Stanislava didn't come along either.
No, she's actually talking. She's actually she is not present on this island at the moment. She's not in her house. You guys go into the tent with Kuzma, and he's just meditating. I assume that you have the box with the orb in it, right? Or do you just have the orb?
I didn't pick up the box. I was just carrying the orb. If someone else picked it up, I don't know. I was just kind of hover floating the orb.
And it does stick and stay in your hand, even though it's like floating an inch or two above your hand. It's just there. And you take it over to him, and he sort of shakes himself awake. And he always has this like temper-colored eye fire sort of thing. You don't actually know what his eyes actually look like. And he sort of looks at you, and he says, "Come sit. Sit down, everyone."
I wait for Emerald to sit first so I can sit away from him.
Okay. No, he sits across from Kuzma. So he's sort of like, this is weird.
I sit next to my buddy Kuzma.
Are you sitting down, Ilya?
Where's the little goblin fella?
He's not with you guys. He's
He's off vibing.
he's got
He's probably off making more explosives.
he's actually reverse engineering that grenade. One of the grenades.
So yes, you could have just said yes.
Yes.
He vibing.
He's not making a grenade. No, he's learning how to make a grenade.
Yeah. So
I will sit down directly in front of Kuzma.
okay. Sabbath, are you sitting down?
Sure.
Technician, are you sitting down?
Yeah.
Kuzma looks at you, and he just puts out his hand like this, open palm.
Kind of just like Hadouken it over to his hand.
Yeah, it floats right over, and he sort of catches it very gently. Okay. He takes it, and he places it in front of him. Like, he's sitting cross-legged, and it's like sort of floating like from his chest forward. You could like see right into it, and he like offers his hand to Low Airshik and then his hand to Technician, because I assume they're basically on opposite sides. Everyone, grasp hands. We have something to do. Everyone holds hands, and he sort of grasps onto your guys, and you feel this rush of electricity go all the way through the circle, and all of you sort of pause for a moment, and time slows as all of you watch this orb sort of disassemble itself in little shards and then go out, and this sort of gaseous galaxy pours out onto the floor. And all of you watch as the world, essentially, creation happens. Essentially, there's two clouds. There's a green cloud, or like a teal cloud and a blue cloud. And they're floating around this star in opposite directions. And then one day, like, time is going super fast. They're rotating very quickly, and then they smash into each other. It creates a small orb that you guys recognize as the Eternal Vision. And then it just keeps spinning around, and then the two clouds meet again. The world is formed in a molten state, and then it eventually fleshes itself out. And then one by one, you see green, blue, like little meteors almost from each of the green and the blue clouds. Green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. So 3 green, 3 blue. And then finally, a meteor from each of them smash together and then fall to the planet after that. And it's like super fast if you're like speed up time in like a galaxy game, like a god game that has to do with like planets. That's what it looks like. And then you literally watch the world basically form itself around, and you see like cultures pop, you see like cities pop up in recognizable places and burn, and like literally all of time and space is happening so quickly, except you notice that there's one large sort of entity. You see a bunch of the entities. One of them you recognize as Progenitor, one of them you recognize as Cursing Mother, or the who have you met? I don't remember how well you've met so far. You've met Cursing Mother, Progenitor, Trusted Sister are the only 3 that you've met so far. And you recognize all 3 of them. And then you see sort of them get together on the face of the planet. They're massive. And all 7 of them sort of get close to each other. And 6 of them sort of take dirt and clay and other materials to form these smaller sort of creatures as these civilizations are coming and going. And you recognize this as like the first Soulforged creation, essentially. They're all together, and they create the Soulforged, except the one does not. Only one of them does not create a Soulforged. It appears that he abstains, and their Soulforged move off to what you can assume form the modern cultures. So anywhere the capital city is, those creatures sort of walk the land for a long, long time and sort of set up they actually like create races and create species, create plants, create animals, like do all the things. And then after everything starts flourishing and they start talking to each other and stuff, you finally see that entity go to, you can actually see the sort of modern map starting to form. And here's what we'll do. We'll go to the world map. You watch as all of them go their separate ways to each of the modern kingdoms, except for the one that was comprised of both teal and blue, goes up to the northeastern island, this little island over here, and sort of sets himself down and disappears. And
is he the same one that chose not to make a Soulforged?
Mm-hmm. And all at once, all of you, you're brought back in as the globe that's floating in front of Kuzma stops glowing and sort of sucks back in all that like sort of universal material back into this like crystalline globe. And Kuzma just looks at you and he says, I think we just witnessed the birth of the world. Actually, I am both confused and fascinated by this.
We witnessed more than that. We saw the birth of the world and the creation of the Soulforged and the resulting exile.
I don't know if that was an exile.
It was a voluntary exile. One entity went off by themselves to be alone. Voluntary exile. Also, I'm glad the magic smoke went back into the device. That's usually bad.
Oh, I would be very concerned if it did not. So. And he pushes the orb back to Loreshik. If you would like, I can keep that here if you want me to. Or you can store it somewhere else if you would like.
Did anyone grab the box?
No.
We have a nice box for it that Emerald brought with. You can put it in the box and then return it to you.
Emerald stands up. I'll go get it. I'll go get it. He literally runs outside.
Kuzma, is there any way we could use this to find Void?
I don't know if we have to use it to find him. Because he could still be there. I mean, I don't know why you would. But we also have no real update as our modern experience. Well, yeah, we could probably locate him. We just need to find a voice of some sort. Most of the voices are very high level, very highly skilled divine magic users. I would assume that. Yep.
Stalin's here.
Yep. Comrade Cupcake's here. I would just assume that we just have to find the voice and they can tell us where they are. It wouldn't be that difficult, I don't think. Now that we have a sort of... Most of those spells require components of that creature. If this is truly a part of him, even a small piece, it would make it much easier to do so.
All these creatures creating Soulforged. Who is creature with no Soulforged?
That would be Void.
He is Void.
He is Void.
He's also apparently a raw form of what we consider to be temper, if you think about it. Because the clouds could be synonymous with essence and arcane, so the idea of magic and life together would create a form of undead, and that, I don't know. There's a lot to take in here. So, I would just be careful, because we also don't know if that connection is two-way for the trying to find out where Void is. Because as far as we know, he's the only one that is not locked down, if you get what I mean. The rest of them have...
had said that he identified this object and that no one would be able to track it within a certain radius.
Kuzma is referring to if we were to use this object to try to locate Void. That connection might be two ways. What I would suggest we do is if we think the information given by this object is accurate, we could go to the location it specified where we think Void might be, and then draw him out. Insulting. I don't know. We could probably insult him. Hey Void, you big nerd, where's my money?
Well, we would need Vidar, and Vidar has been the only way that we've been able to see these Soulforgers before. I'm concerned for Vidar's safety, honestly.
I don't understand why we go there to insult him.
It is simply to draw him out. It would be one way of drawing him out.
It's not like he pissed on your rug or something.
Rug pissing is relative.
Then maybe just kill him.
Well, that would be the point of drawing him out. Draw him out into a fight. Perhaps if we insult him enough, he will become cross and make an error.
Well,
this is the most ridiculous conversation.
Sure, he will be cross.
Maybe he likes meat. We can put some cheese on the meat and we can call it a royale.
This is a good plan. We should option a franchise of Renault's rations for Void to own. Let us make allies.
But, Luerchik, what sauce do you put on this royale with cheese?
What sauce would you like, Ilya?
Burger.
I believe we should. I believe we should take root vegetables, slice them, fry them in oil, and then serve them with smashed eggs and oil. Eggs and oil. This is the right sauce.
This is just an entirely awful joke that's happening right now.
Can we go to the island by seeing it from this crystal ball?
No.
We have to have been there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to have been there, unfortunately.
So you can't just see a picture of something?
Important meta question. Does bowling exist? We know guns exist. We know rug pissing exists. Does bowling exist in this world?
Probably not.
We could insult him by going there and seeing and saying very loudly, "Do you see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?" This would draw him out. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a. I'm an artificer.
And then Emerald walks back in with the box.
He does. He does.
What is Alps?
Yeah, he walks back in with a box and just opens it for you.
I grab with just my 2 fingers. I grab the orb. Before I set it in there, I just kind of like give it a little like circular shake.
Mm-hmm.
Does the galaxy inside start to spin like a snow globe?
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting. I set it gently in the box.
He
Can I examine the box for any like hidden compartments?
Sure. Do investigation.
Investigate. Yes. 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 Yes.
Starting off strong. He closes the box gently and hands it to Lorishik as Ilya sort of comes over and looks at it. You're like, yep, that's a box.
Hey, Ilya, what does this box smell like? Not the orb, but the box.
Sesame seeds.
Interesting. I take the box and hand it frontwards towards Kuzma.
He takes it and bows. He just sets it on his lap.
Well, we might... Go ahead, technician, sorry.
We did send Prince Eric to fetch Darcy for us. He may have returned already. That would be out there in the courtyard by the meat stand.
Well, let's...
Sorry,
let's head out
the
there.
door is on my other
Thank
side.
you for your time.
Out there. In that direction.
Behind you.
I do a slight bow to Kuzma and start walking out his tent to the courtyard.
He bows back. As you walk out to the courtyard, Zarek and Darcy are chilling. I should have... Let's go back to the warband territory. Did it work? Oh, it did work. Awesome. Where's Darcy? I had her. I even organized this.
Can someone please remind me who Darcy is? Because it sounds
right
like
there.
Darcy was the person from Cell Time. Is that right?
No. So back in the day, we went on a rescue mission. This was a very early Warband's territory mission. We went on a rescue mission of a arcane caster who was like trapped in a tower, and there was a mob out front. We basically distracted the mob with fireworks and Defender, and then there was just like two.
I remember.
Well, at the time, we didn't know they were Inquisitors.
Yvonne was still with us.
I don't think Yvonne was.
I was
with
just
us. No. This is a very early Warband's mission. It was because we started by going after Isaac Moonball, and then they sent us on a rescue mission. It was we didn't know who we were rescuing, but I can't remember if it was you that spoke Draconic to her or if it was Evie speaking Elvish to her. But like there was basically a back door with some sort of illusion in front of it, and you guys talked through the door, and she came out and then helped us in the fight by polymorphing one of the enemies or something. I can't remember. She either polymorphed the enemies or she polymorphed herself into a giant
I
creature
remember
with that
this.
shot.
I remember the courtyard because there was a voice there. It was because the voice of whatever, there was an explosion in the cathedral, right?
Nope.
No.
That was the
Different
very
encounter?
first.
Okay.
That was the very first voice of Moonball.
I remember this where we were trying to get to the front. There was some like the roguish people out front who ran around the back and talked to her.
Yeah.
I could have swore Yvonne was with us at that time.
Mm-mm. This is after Nilhund.
Okay.
Because they were
I
Inquisitors.
remember her now. Thank you.
The paladin slapped you. Bam. It was like from full to zero, basically.
There was 3 men in that fight, and I wound up taking somebody's heavy crossbow at the end of it.
Yeah, you killed the Shaded Man, Turant, and Isvand. That was the name of them. Because there's like the hooded guy that was shooting at you guys. And that's where you got your heavy crossbow from.
Yeah.
But yeah.
As we see Darcy, I walk up to Darcy and say, hello in Draconic.
She nods and says, greetings. Oh. And she looks, and this is a gold dragonborn, Ilya. So she's like full gold dragonborn mode. Her eyes are actually even glowing, and she looks to be enchanted in some way. Greetings. I am Darcy, or at least that's what they call me. Sure. She's like, don't speak, but I understand. I heard you needed me for something, Lorshik.
I think Technician has an idea that he'd like to run past you.
Okay.
We are being tracked as we move through Artstadt.
Mm-hmm.
The spell tracking us is, in fact, locate creature. As my understanding of this particular magic, that it can be defeated with polymorphism. Is the correct term polymorphism or polymorphics? Polymorphicating.
Transmogrification or transmutation.
Transmogrification.
Transmutation also works as well. I can polymorph you for a time. It's not a permanent version. I am not that powerful, but I can polymorph you for a while, if that's what is required.
How long is a while?
Unfortunately, I can technically only do one at a time, but I know some other arcane magic users in with the people that can also do it, so we could potentially hold you for an hour.
That could work. It would just be Loershik, Vidar, and myself. We would polymorph, immediately go into core, try to locate our person, and extradite them post-haste. We might be able to do that in an hour. Any time past that, we would be sought by Yvonne and the Inquisitors. So the timing would need to be very, very specific.
Technician, what would you want to polymorph us into? To my understanding, Darcy, when you polymorph, you take on the attributes and the form. So if we become a rat, for example, we would be as squishy as a rat.
Temporarily. That's pretty much how it goes.
Turn us into dragons.
That would raise alarms. That would attract unwanted attention.
Dragons are also not beasts, Ilya. As you know, they are quite intelligent, as your little one probably is. I could see if there's someone more powerful, if you would like. But
would it be possible for you to turn us into humans? It is my understanding that human beings are mammals and mammals are creatures.
I could try.
This would attract the least attention and would give us the ability to communicate with the person that we seek. Plus, it would raise the fewest alarms.
This is true. Yes, we will try. I will have to look into it. If you give me a little while, a few hours,
Absolutely. We
I will
still
get
need
back to
to.
you.
Vidar is being uncharacteristically stoic for his newfound socialism, social ability.
Okay. Yes, I will go with my colleagues and I will look into it. If I can transform you into humans as well, that will be ideal. And it will only be for an hour. So you only have 1 hour. I would definitely get with someone to make sure you have a yeet stone to get there and another to get back immediately if you can.
Of course.
Just be very careful. And I will see you soon. And she walks away, taking notes and a little notebook. Okay. What are you guys doing?
I look over to Emerald really quick and just say, by the way, I may have mentioned to some people that you were at one point king of the underground. Anywho, and I walk over to Renault's rations really quick and grab some meat for myself from Vidar.
I'll turn to Emerald and
So you are also venerable, noble, honorable Emerald. My Excellency.
No. I'm not. If you did have to give me a title, it would probably be the cowardice, or the coward would probably be the title, because I abdicated and I was afraid. So if you give me a title, there's no way that I will accept a positive title at this point because I don't deserve it. So thank you.
Abdicate.
It just means to step down or leave a position of power voluntarily in most cases.
So you are stupid.
I was stupid. It was a stupid decision.
Maybe the fool more apt for you.
I would absolutely agree with that. 100%.
is this guy a powerful guy? Your guys' reactions are like, what the fuck is he doing? No,
I mean, his kid's standing right there. That's all.
Who?
Lorshik. This is his
Oh,
father.
He doesn't hear me. He's gone to the truck.
Coma.
Yeah. I would not accept any of those titles because I don't deserve them. And as far as even our culture is concerned, he is the true king. So I'm at best loosely associated at this point. And I'm trying to be better about it, but here we are. I can only do so much. Hindsight is much more clear than when you're in the moment. So here we are. And he definitely has a very defeated look on his face.
At least your son. Good.
No, he's not just good. He's the best.
For what is best?
In my eyes, he is the person that everyone should want to be. There are a lot of things that should be venerated about him. So
He must eat more meat pie. Lizard skinny, no meat.
it is true. He just sort of walks over to Loershik. Have you been eating? Are you good?
Yes. As I'm like stuffing my face with some Renault's rations.
You know that you do have to eat stuff that isn't meat, right?
I eat other things.
Okay, name one thing that you eat that's not meat.
What have I done?
Just one thing.
I suggested he eat vegetables. He started salivating at a child in a wheelchair.
I ate some flesh.
That's meat.
Yeah.
He goes into his little messenger bag, and he pulls out a large like root vegetable, and he says, "Where we come from, they grow these underground, and it is made up of nutrients that you need. That isn't meat, but they're close enough because we are carnivores. We only eat meat, but this is close enough for us that it gives us everything else that we need. And here," and he literally, like, you have a backpack on, right?
Me?
Yeah. He literally goes into your backpack. He starts putting root vegetables in your backpack.
You know, Emerald, this is great. I've never seen these before because where I grew up, we didn't have these at the orphanage.
He looks at you and he says, "Can you at least give me credit for trying at this point? Can I have a little bit of credit? Just a little bit. I know I messed up and I wasn't there. But
while he's talking, I just reach in and give him a hug.
You immediately hear him go, and he's like barely breathing, but you can hear barely breathing as they're like embracing each other. Technician and Sabas and Ilya, what are you doing?
Watching.
Examining or thinking about the root vegetables and inventing poutine in this universe?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I'll let it happen.
Well, Travis was just gonna like pull out a bunch of maps and start sharing with Emerald, but this is more important. I'm just gonna watch the bonding.
Oh!
And eat meat.
Bonding moment. Technician, you're watching two people have a genuine interaction that you may or may not have ever seen. That's between two members of a family being very close, right? Doesn't happen very often in this universe because everyone dies. So, high or low, technician?
Hi. First roll of the night. Well, this is a straight 50-50. Hi.
Hi. Okay. Roll it for me, please.
700. Woo!
Okay.
I literally rolled a James Bond. Nice.
You did. What numbers are left?
Good question. Give me a second. Where did my notes page go?
It's going to be the lowest number that you have available to you right now. So whatever number that happens to be.
1.
So it's 0, the 1. The number 1 disc. Like, and you're realizing, like, you're watching this and his eyes roll back and, like, the lights happen and, like, his literal, like, chest opens. It starts doing all of his internal workings. And Ilya, this is the first time you've seen, like, a machine open up and, like, start working. And he goes into, like, this moment and it only lasts for 10 seconds before, vroom. Technician, when this happens to you, you get sucked back into the workshop where you're standing there watching Ilisand and the young woman, I don't know if I ever said her name, interact with each other. And that's when essentially the two are interacting with each other, but a third person comes in. Looks exactly like Ilisand, except very feminine overall. And she only walks in and says, hi, Dad, and then walks out. And then he literally walks after her, pulls her back in, and like holds, embrace her. And it's a flashback, very fast flashback, before you're sucked back into your body, and like it stops processing. And you are a family man. You're the most familiest man of all the family men ever. So it's up to you what that definition of family is for Technician. But you are basically the people that you're closest to are the most important people in the world, other than obviously Ilisand. So Ilisand is sort of like your father at this point. So you are, what is it, an apathetic... Your character's developing, and this was one of those moments that, yeah, you weren't ready for. What do you do?
Okay, so coming out of that that little disc boot, real quick, and observing the hug. Rep is going to Rep is going to throw his arms around both of them, and he's going to lower his volume knob, and he's going to say, "These are the special moments. Do not lose this feeling. Hold on to it. And if either of them struggle or try to get out of the hug, he's just going to hug a little bit harder. Hold on to it."
As soon as you do that, Emerald breaks down crying, like full on sobbing, bawling his eyes out.
It is okay.
He does not struggle. He's just like,
it is okay.
Crying his eyes out. What are you doing, Lower?
Let it out, Emerald.
I just, I'm just kind of dumbfounded at this point. So how heavy is this potato?
It's like a combination of a potato and like a beet, where it's like pink instead of being like just full potato, but it has like the full like leaves on it and everything. They're probably like
so it's not like a large.
No. It's like a
reasonable size.
It's reasonable size. Yeah, but he's already put like 3 or 4 of them in your backpack. He's holding another one.
I just take one out and take a bite out of this raw potato.
He looks at you. He cringes for a second and like pulls it out and like puts his hand out like, not raw.
Sliced, fried in oil, covered in gravy, and meat and cheese curd.
Do you smell that piece of potato?
It's kind of like, I look over at Technician while I'm saying this, while like leaning my head towards Emerald's hand. I just go and spit it out onto his hand.
Yeah, and he literally takes it and like throws it, and he's like, "We can cook it. We just have to boil it or fry it or do whatever Technician just said, but not raw."
Stew.
Yeah. He just looks at you and he looks over at Technician, and it's like, "I think we're good. We're good." He literally is like looking at Low Airshake. You guys are like this far from each other, and he's like, "Are you good?" "Thank you, by the way." He's like wiping the tears off. Oh, I feel better now. He just seems sort of like aloof now.
Chick, does plant taste happy?
Do I still have the one I bit into? I hand it to Ilya. You tell me.
Looks delicious.
That sound effect, though, that was so good. I'm going to give you inspiration, Ilya, if you don't have it already.
I have it already.
Damn it.
Double inspiration.
If I could give double inspiration, I would do literally, it would be like a permanent thing. Gary is...
It's a shame you're not in charge of this shit or something.
I know, right? Okay, with that, I will give the party inspiration.
Nice.
So, you have 1 party inspiration. So if any of you need to re-roll, including Gary, you can use your inspiration or the party inspiration to do so. Because that is like I was not ready for him to like actually bite into something with the noise. And it tastes awful. It's not that it tastes unhappy, it just tastes bad. It's a bad taste.
Not good.
And Emerald is like, oh my gosh.
I am telling you, if we slice these, fry them in oil, cover them in gravy and meat and cheese curd, they will be delicious. I will call it a salad. Vegetables with beef vinaigrette and artisanal cheese. Yummy.
Is it salad or sandwich?
It is salad. The base is vegetable.
But how many salads in a sandwich?
You, and then Rep Rap is going to go into a data coma for a second.
Emerald just looks at you and goes, okay, I'm going to go make some of these. If you want to make some meat, Loishik, I will go make some of these, and we'll meet for dinner. And then tomorrow, we'll get you guys on your way.
Although I would love to, I think there's a world that we need to save.
Yes, but your Yeet Stone doesn't recharge, and I know that Kuzma only has a couple. We have to wait for Stanislawa to get back. She gets back tomorrow.
It is almost like we are in a fishbowl until then.
You could just say no. We don't have to spend as much time together as I want. It's okay. That's all.
I just
Lowerchick.
don't know how to cook the meats.
How do you
He
don't
can show you.
you don't
He
know
will
how to
teach you. He is your father. You should cherish these moments, Lowerchick. Cherish.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to cook meat either.
I beg to differ, sir. I lived on my own, underground, for 8 years. You got to know how to do stuff on your own in order to do that. So, what I'll do is I'll teach you how to cook these things, and then you can do it on your own. And Ilya and Sabis, if you'd like to come along, I'll teach you how to make it as well. Because I have materials, and we could have a whole learning. We could all learn together. Technician, you can help too. Because I know that Technician knows how to do it. But, yeah. We'll have dinner
I
tonight.
have foraged root vegetables and meat.
We'll have dinner tonight. Stanislawa gets back tomorrow. She'll get you another your new Yeet Stones, and then you can go on your mission. Because hopefully Darcy should be done by then as well. So, and by that time it should be middle of the day in core as well, right? Yes, should be middle of the day if you leave tomorrow early morning. So, yeah, we'll get that. Awesome. And he like rubs his hands together and like looks in the meat cart. He's like pulls out a bunch of like salted meats that he had that's just prepared. It's just preserved meat with salt. And he actually, you guys basically that evening you go to this big old like, it's not really a fire pit. It's like a permanent place where you could just go cook. It's like a grill that's like inside the Blackstone Citadel. And yeah, all of you are now proficient with cooking supplies. As a result of this like evening lesson from Emerald. And if you were already, then you're good.
I assume Vidar is there as well.
Yeah.
Learning with us.
Yeah, I don't know why he would be, but sure. He doesn't eat like
In class. Get him out of here. Like, don't let them.
he yeah, and then you guys go to sleep from like the best cooked meal that you've had since essentially like that one really high end in Siltime, the boat one.
Does anything exciting happen at dinner? Like a murder or a play or technician antics?
I don't know. Do technician antics happen during dinner?
So real quick, here's a question for you. What would you like me to roll for inventing poutine? That's kind of the first question I have on this all.
Do you have Canadian dice that you can roll?
I do, eh? They roll 1A through 20A.
Do you know how they
I think I
invented?
told him a bad
Do
joke.
you know how they invented Canada? They put a bunch
they
of
pulled
letters into a
out of
hat.
CANADA. There you go. I made it our account for bad jokes instead of yours.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Oh, there you go. That's one of my favorite jokes ever. Besides the no man with no arms and no legs, those are my favoriteest. Yeah. Do you have tinker tools in your inventory?
Always.
Okay, because remember, as an artificer, you can literally summon any tool and be proficient with it, because you can. So go ahead and make me a tinker tools with your intelligence as base.
He whips out a slap chop.
What did we learn to cook?
Well, depending on this roll,
Okay.
poutine and roast beef, essentially. You get +9? That's crazy. Yeah. You basically invent poutine. Except it's goat cheese for this specific one.
This would have been better with cheese curds, but goat cheese will do. Also, smoked paprika and salt, but we'll make do with what we have.
What's a paprika?
It is a spice. It is a smoked spice. So what you do is you take the paprika, powder it, then smoke it, and then smoke it again, because that is smoked paprika.
I believe it's chili.
Possibly adding some sassafras.
It's a chili pepper, correct?
You're a chili pepper, correct? Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
Isn't that just spelled pepper?
I think it is. It's a pepper of some sort.
It's basically a pepper.
I think it's red. It's red pepper, right?
Might be.
Yeah. Oh, it's semantics. Semantics.
It's like how kale and broccoli are the same thing.
No.
Yep. Same plant.
Are they really? And one is the leaf, and one is the rest of it.
Yeah.
She refuses to believe that. That's funny.
Oh no, I believe it. I'm just saying they're not the same thing.
No, sorry, no, absolutely correct. Because I hate kale, but I love broccoli. Yeah.
See, I agree.
Why are you pulling the pin on his grenade? Why, Spoopy? Why are you doing this?
Who's spooky? I don't know who you're talking about.
Why?
Check, what are you doing?
Orshik's just eating some poutine.
He's eating the
What?
grenade.
What?
What?
Do you like cheese? I don't like smell of cheese.
This is goat cheese. It is fresher and therefore more mild.
Still taste like wrong end of goat.
It could be worse.
It.
Admittedly, this is not my finest recipe, but I still like it. I think it will be quite popular.
Gravy, good. Fries, good. Meat, good.
It is a very happy dish, but it insists on apologizing to everybody. I'm not sure why.
It does seem to be a little apologetic. Not really sure what that's about, but yeah. I agree.
I tried to make it less so. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's only so much you can do. And you guys go to sleep having like an amazing meal. You're all proficient with cook's utensils inside your obvious like scope. So doing some really specific stuff probably wouldn't work very well. But to make a basic meal from meat and potatoes, you could absolutely do it. You wake in the next morning. The next morning is absolutely frigid cold. Because winter is starting to set in. And, yeah, you wake in the next morning. Stanislawa arrives early morning. And she's dressed in, like, the largest fur coat that you've ever seen on a person, because she's part giant. She comes in, and she's like, "Oh, you're back. How was it?"
Dangerous.
I assume you found him or her, correct?
Possibly. We ran into a bit of an issue. So on our approach towards where we believe the Soulforged was, we ran into some inclement weather, stayed in a cave overnight, but then while we were in the cave, we were tracked by the Inquisitors and Yvonne. They were using an empowered version of Locate Creature. We believe we have a solution around that, but our temporary fix was to be on the other side of water and to hide in Ann Hole. While we were hiding in Ann Hole, they nearly caught us, but we escaped capture then. Then we sent Ilya and Sadis down into Core to scout a spot for us to arrive. We believe they may have also located the Soulforged. As of now, the plan is to have Darcy and some of the other mages polymorph us into humans so that we can avoid detection with Locate Creature. You use the hour very quickly to locate the Soulforged, get them out of there. In order to do this, we will need 2 Yeet Stones that are fully charged.
Okay. I will get them for you. I will get them right now. And she walks into like her sort of fortress house that she has. Walks out a few minutes later. Ilya and Sebas, you said you've been there? Is that correct?
We have.
Okay.
We scouted a lot of the city.
Okay. So one of these will go to you. One of them will go to Lurshik. Give me yours back, Lurshik. I assume it's still recharging, correct? She takes it and she hands you a brand new one. Okay. I see you. I will stay here with you until you leave, and then I will be here for a timer as well. Okay. Good luck. And she goes into her house, and she literally a minute later, Darcy comes running up on you with a handful of other wizard sorcerer types, walks over to you and says, okay, we figured it out temporarily, but it's not exactly a spell. We put it in the form of a potion. It still only lasts an hour, but we do not have to concentrate and has no range. So you will turn into these humans, and keep in mind you will not be able to use some of your abilities because you are a human. You are no longer, in Lorishik's case, a lizard folk. You are a human. You lose your jaws, you lose your tail, you become human. So you need to be aware of this. Do you understand?
Yes.
For technician, you will breathe. You will be organic. You will bleed. You will do these things. Do you understand?
He's Bender from Futurama.
I hope I will not do those things very much, but yes.
Okay. And you cannot take much damage. It will follows the same rules as polymorph. If you to sustain too much damage, you will revert back to technician. Same as you.
I understand.
So, here, and they hand both of you like this really bright yellow potion.
Okay, so the timing of this will be that as we eat stone, we quaff the pot. That will give us exactly 1 hour to find the Soulforged and return. Lorechik, you seem displeased with this plan.
I am concerned about the castigator.
I think it is probably best if we leave our equipment here. That could be used to identify us.
Is there an armory in the warbands that I could store my castigator?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, Stanislava is like, if you're concerned about it, here. And she literally pulls it off your back and is like, I will hold this for you.
Darcy,
what is it?
Do you know if I will be as strong as I normally am, or?
Yes, you will. Absolutely.
Stanislava, do you have always wanted to use an axe with sharp edges on both sides. Do you have any axes I could use?
She turns around.
I have this. And Rep Rap is also going to hold out his hand axe.
Stanislava turns around and snaps, and Casimir comes over and hands you his, like, really wicked-looking great axe.
I kind of, like, gesture for the castigator back from Stanislava and hand it to Casimir.
Casimir looks at you and he says, I will kill you if you do not bring that back with you. I hope you know this.
And I will kill you if you lose that.
Then we kill each other. We'll be glorious.
That sounds fun.
It may be strange to see, but these two men are friends, not enemies.
Savage is gonna pull out 25 gold and hand it to Stanislav and go, "This is my bet on Casimir winning."
Why do you give him your castrator?
Castrate.
Castigate. It's Ferald's castigator. The Soulforger, Ferald, Vidar's dad. He made that hammer. Lilia walked away.
No, Sabas is losing it. Absolutely losing it right now, and I love that. She's dying.
I like
bastard. My stomach hurts.
I just like the idea that you would do that with a hammer instead of anything with a blade on it.
Bro, just I mean, any blunt object traveling quickly enough can cut something.
No, I know that. I'm not. That's the point, though. That's why it's funny.
Oh no, it's
just like where we're going. We don't need blades. Bam.
Stab on the table, then crush. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Anywho, this is a very nice maul, the Castigator, and it has a floating temper ball in the center of a round hole in the head of it. So it's very obviously magical and powerful.
And yeah, Casimir's great axe is a +1 great axe. It's just like a really big, like wicked looking weapon that is clearly designed for Casimir, because it's very, very like not normal looking. Let's just say that. Is anyone else doing anything before you leave?
So is the only thing that's getting put away between the two of them, the Castigator?
That is probably the more notable thing of all their stuff. Like it's really one of the only like identifying things that they have on them would be the Castigator. I don't know if anything else would really be that, because Lorshik has like plate armor is not a thing. His has breasts though, which I think is hilarious. That will resize onto him, and then Technician doesn't really have any equipment that's notable, right? Besides your dog, or besides your little guy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Defender has to stay back.
No way.
I mean, it would be Defender can reshape to sort of disguise self a little bit in the first place. So,
not really a anti-locate creature kind of thing, though.
That is a good point. That is a good point. The issue here is the locate. No, you know what? Defender's not a creature. Defender is a construct.
He's not he is a creature. And
yeah. He's a construct creature? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So theoretically, Defender can be tracked.
Mm-hmm.
So
leave in mind.
Yeah, we leave Defender. We leave the backpack. Basically, take just the clothes. Just the clothes. That's it.
Well, you can take
if it's an option where it's like we're gonna get in combat, the solution to that is book it and Wheatstone out. I think the actual answer to that, because there's no way we're fighting inside of a capital city.
Yeah, fighting in core when the entire guard has been replaced with Inquisitors, probably a bad idea.
Probably a bad idea.
Let me meta this real quick.
Okay.
Should I bring an emergency grenade in the event that we are discovered, have to fight a horde in order to yeet stone out?
What I was saying earlier, I think left behind is Savas can carry shit for you.
Okay.
But she's not leaving anything behind. She doesn't need to.
The heavy crossbow is generic enough that I can take with.
Actually, it's not. That's an Inquisitor's heavy crossbow.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay.
I would probably assume that you'd go out of your way to remove the markings, but the overall make and model, it's like basically painting over a Supra. It's still a Supra.
So if anybody was to look and know, they would know that that's a cop gun, not a regular Browning.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's like a police issue versus a military issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So crossbow's going to stay behind. We're going to bring daggers. Daggers inconspicuous. We'll bring a dagger.
Emergency grenade.
I think we'll give an emergency grenade to Sabas. And Rep Rep's going to say, Sabas, do not deploy this unless I revert.
Sabas is going to nod and then strap it to the side of her backpack, basically, like side pocket on the outside. So it's pretty easy to grab.
Okay. So quick access to give it to him if you have to.
Yes.
Okay, Luershik, are you doing anything specific before you leave?
I am giving my stack of Luershik cards to Sabas.
Okay.
I was just kind of like, look at them, look at Luershik, look at them, look at Luershik, and just put it in. Just like, I don't care enough.
Okay. Anything else?
Do I keep my attunements if I polymorph?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to keep my necklace on.
Okay. Ilya, are you doing anything specific?
Nah.
Okay. Just I have to verify as a GM. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And you guys are going to yeet stone now, right?
We're going to yeet stone and quaff the pot at the same time. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Where are we yeet stoning to?
That's the next question.
That's you. Yeah.
Where exactly are you going?
We have three options.
We have
three options. Yeah.
We had the day. Okay, so day was industrial, night was nightlife, and then we had the break and entering option as well.
Yeah, because we had one in front of like a palace thing or
a
temple. Or
the Pantheon. It's called the Pantheon.
Yeah. So
and one for daytime was the houses near workshop.
So we have two options. We have break and enter, in which case, why do we bother more potions? And then we have go to the industrial sector and work from there. Okay, so we're going to the industrial sector.
Well, what time is it?
I assume day.
It should be midday.
It's going to be...
It's midday here.
So no, it's
there?
early morning here.
It's early morning here, yeah.
Which means
midday.
Evening?
No, it's midday on the other. Actually, you're basically on the other. No, if you're in Garansk right now, Garansk, it's going to be, if it's like 7 in the morning, it's like a 7-hour difference. So
you heard it here first, folks. Time zones suck everywhere.
So early or late afternoon.
So industrial sector.
Yeah.
So you are eating to the industrial sector, specifically.
Probably just like some drainage ditch or back of home or something.
Or by one of the maintenance closet things that you found earlier as well.
Well, we'll come out of the closet, yeah.
All right. Potion. Yeet. Vroom. You come out directly in front, basically directly on one of the platforms, directly in front of one of the maintenance closets. And for the first time, Luershik and Technician, you both feel very strange. We're gonna go on our 15-minute break. And we'll see you guys in 15 minutes, because this is a perfect time to do that. Short rest. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Legendary Tales. We're back from our 15-minute break. We are currently in Core. I'll zoom in, show you guys the map that I made. It's pretty dope. All right. So you guys have arrived on the western edge in between the industrial sector and the housing sector in a small sort of broom closet that's meant for these small automatons that do cleaning and maintenance. Yeah. If you guys could actually just take a second and then technician, could you please describe to me what your character looks like?
My character looks relatively skinny, sort of frail, wispy sort of person, very nerdy looking. Sort of. Let me find out. Sort of weird haircut. Probably looks like he wears a lot of glasses. Monstrous overbite, definitely monstrous overbite. But wearing the exact same clothes a technician was wearing before, so traveler's cloak, vest, pants.
Okay.
One chance that humanity becomes a nerd.
Oh, that's funny.
It could be worse. I could have become a very normal man. Glyven.
I am wearing long robes, typical. I, for some reason, have a bunch of paper just scattered all over me for some reason. I'm using Casimir's axe as a staff because I'm so old that I really need it for support. But, you know, I probably don't actually need it. I'm bald. I have a long white beard that comes down to like my crotch. Yeah, and I'm old as shit.
Okay. Yeah, you guys make it, and the first thing you notice is the smell of foundries and forges, and then it's very loud on this side because basically the industrial sector is right next to you. And yeah, it's about 3 o'clock, so just a little bit after midday. What are you guys doing?
Did you choose bodies or potion choose bodies?
That's an excellent question, my man, and I am fairly certain that the potion chose the bodies based on our characteristics. Like, Sabas, excellent choice of locale for us to be in. This is very deserted and not with any of the people and the looking and the spying or even.
Sabas is gonna look straight in the fucking soul of Rip Rap and go, I am so glad you're a construct and not a human.
What are you talking about? I am a human now, right now. I'm being a normal human.
Technician, you have inspiration. I hope you know that if you didn't have it before, you have it now. Like, what?
While this is happening, I just start wandering off, like just paying attention to nobody. Just
where are you going? We have to stay together and find the soul. Where are you going?
I'm already like 100 feet away.
Okay. Ilya, what are you doing?
We must catch him. Where is he going?
Get back here. I'm not going to call you by your name. I know your name. Get back here.
How do I call you, if in disguise?
I've assumed that there's a fountain nearby because core sounds really French and fancy. So I find a fountain and I just stand menacingly next to it. As menacing as an old man can stand.
I'm gonna walk over to the fountain with him. Sneakily.
Yeah. I'll go over to the fountain as well.
Okay.
Nerdily.
Describe. Elaborate. You take out the blue pen from your shirt pocket, your notepad.
was mostly cleaning my glasses the entire way. Well, fantastic architecture here. This is, of course, indicative of the early core Renaissance period. These arches. The arches. Look at the arches. Sabas, are you coming? We should probably stay together, Glyven.
You appear to have something lodged in your throat since potion.
Aha! 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 Aha!
Now you must feel better.
I'm not sure. There might be something in the air. I feel overcome with the sensation of itchiness inside my face. Ah.
I can't even with this right now. Like, actually.
I'm just staring at the image of Day on my screen with just contempt.
You love Professor Fink. You know you do. Just
Do
admit
you?
it. Say it out loud.
Do you have your breathing powder?
That's an excellent question. No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. This is a short excursion to Core. Well, I'll be fine.
Yeah. So you're at a nearby fountain, at one of the junctions between the outer residential area and the inner market area where the large temple is and all the government buildings, like basically the government sector. What are you guys doing?
So, Elia, you were saying there was a strong blueberry smell somewhere, and you were going to take us to that blueberry smell.
He should also move away from fountain. Somewhere secluded.
Well, I mean, you tell him that. He hasn't said a word since we got here.
I just take out a coin. I flick it into the fountain.
What are you doing? Why are you wasting
Does he want
money?
us to be here? Does he want us to come find him later? Do you want us to stay?
Maybe he would like to stand here for a short period of time.
And behold his tail.
Oh, man.
I just can't.
He literally doesn't get a chance to do it because he can't stop laughing.
It hurts. I can't even come close to how good his sprint is.
No, literally not at all. I have a request that when this one's over, that you make a character that is just Frank, and we just do that because that would be.
So you have not been checking your other channel, because I have a character who is Frank. He's a poisoner, and his name is Dr. Friedrich von Scratchensneef.
So, see, you've been working on this for a while, basically.
I have not. No, this actually happened just now.
Okay.
So short meta aside, while Spooky collects himself to do the voice, I resurrected a project, and in that project, we randomly generate characters with random voices. So when I was becoming human and realized, oh crap, I have to make up a character on the fly, I pressed the button. This is the voice I got. I went with it. It was going to be this or Joe Pesci because I accidentally clicked twice, so I went with this.
We really should see about getting Speed RP on the streams one time. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Did you ever play a day's Speed RP?
It's literally you're the only one here that has.
Yeah.
We should
so
get Beans
much
and French to
fucking
do it too, though.
Yes.
Anyway.
So you guys are gathered around. Are you heading inward, or what are you doing exactly right now?
Searching for the smell of blueberries.
Okay. It's very faint, but it is here.
Which direction?
Toward the center where you saw him before.
This way.
Come on, old man.
I use the great axe to start following.
Okay. Slowly but surely, you make your way towards the government center. And about 15 minutes later, everyone make a perception check, please.
Sight, smell, or sound?
Sight.
Well,
There appears to be a smudge on my glasses.
Should I even bother rolling? I'm just gonna get 1.
You don't know that.
Like.
Oh my god, he called it. Someone clip that, please. Someone. Please, someone clip that, please.
We really need a tally of fucking Elias perception rolls because I think 50% of them have been ones.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Not very perceptive.
No, it's been so bad.
My first ever roll was a perception, and I rolled a 1, right? Did I have a double 1 at some point?
Yeah.
Somebody did. Yeah, that was you.
That was him, yeah. So, Sabas, since you're the only one that can roll above a 1 or 2, I should say.
Thank you.
You notice that before the Inquisitors were walking around in like groups of 3, just doing like what you assumed were patrols. They are now stationed at junctions in between sections, in pairs.
So security has just gone up.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically they were predicting this. It's only been
a day.
Like, yeah. Lex is gonna like look around and look at the party and go, okay, security is way up. Don't pull anything funny.
I'll do my best.
No more fountains.
Would I know what is considered contraband to the Inquisitors? We've had contraband as a topic come up before.
Yes. So any arcane focus, like an arcane focus or
mine.
proof that you are an arcane spellcaster, anything that proves that you're an arcane spellcaster, undoubtedly, like a spell book for wizards, arcane focuses for sorcerers and the like, that kind of stuff.
What did you do with your focus?
She left it with...
Yeah, my focus has been
Rep,
gone for a while.
Your focus was with Rep. Rep has left his pack and all of his equipment behind, with the exception of a dagger.
Because I think I asked this exact same fucking questions last time. Never mind.
No, he left all that stuff out there on
memory
purpose.
lasts 6 days apparently.
Yeah.
So 7 days gone. Last session erased.
That would be crazy.
Okay. Anyways,
what's that look for, Loerchik? What's that look for, huh? You remember something that you have on your character that I should be looking into your character sheet for right now?
Well, these only cast.
Oh. What does Loerchik smell
I
like?
have magic items, but I assume that wasn't contraband.
No, not usually.
Does Loerchik smell magical?
Will Wereshik smell magical?
Not particularly. So you guys are having this conversation right before the checkpoint, or where are you having this conversation exactly?
It's like muttered whispers, like right as I see them. Just like, hey, be careful.
Just act normal.
As normal as we can.
Except old man. Old man, don't be normal.
I just kind of look around. Like, why would he even be saying this to me?
Do you want me to do the voice? You just move your lips and I'll put the words there.
I think that you think he talks more than he actually does.
Yeah, he says 3 things, but I mean, you've said 0 of them, so.
Not in Heroes of the Storm. He talks more than any character in Heroes of the Storm.
Old man.
Fair enough.
How must I call you?
I just start walking towards the Inquisitors.
Well, I'm not entirely sure that's the way we want to go, but okay. Elia, is that the direction that your super sniffer is telling us to go?
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just follow along then. Very, very mechanical gait.
Mm-hmm.
Nerdily. I walk nerdily. It's an adjective now. Everybody put it into your lexicon. Let's make this happen. Go, Gen Z, go.
Loershik, as you're heading towards the gate, there's 2 Inquisitors there. One of them has a flail, an oversized flail, and the other has an oversized great axe. And he just sort of eyes you for a second as you're walking. Excuse me, sir. And he literally puts his hand out to stop you.
Hello?
You're carrying that weapon. Seems very heavy. How...
So, gonna walk up behind him. Through the miracles of science, this is a very, very, very fit old man. He's just constantly working out. He lifts. Do you lift? You, Inquisitor, do you lift?
Yes.
He lifts. He also lifts.
Yes, I do.
This is his walking stick. It's very decorated, but it's just a walking stick. Like,
Sure.
well, it's so the bandits don't try to take advantage of him. It's an intimidating walking stick.
What about your companions? They seem to be not from here exactly. How do you know them?
We have a mutual friend. We're looking for him. We're supposed to meet him somewhere around here.
And where
I
is
work
it?
as a I work as a sort of traveling merchant guard, so I'm from everywhere really.
So you're a mercenary, protecting your
In a way,
your people. And what about you back there?
This is my entourage. I am a renowned food critic, Yaroslav.
Will you make a deception check for me?
Assisting.
At advantage.
Yeah.
No. Literally, I was gonna give advantage regardless. All right. Do I have my Inquisitor stats?
wisdom of -2. Wisdom of -2.
Okay. Well, it is a pleasure to have you here. I would recommend going to the southern edge. They have many good, how you say, meat pie in native language. Yes, go there. And then after you find your friend that you're meeting, have a good day.
Oh, thank you, my good man.
I pull out of gold and place it gingerly into the guy's palm and follow away.
And he just literally holds it out to you.
I take it.
They do not do that here. That is
now.
considered most rude. Yes, I've read about this. Yes, you don't tip. No tipping.
And you guys make it past the checkpoint successfully. I like how Sabas was like straight up lying, and then Ilya's like, "I'm gonna lie bigger than you."
I mean,
Double down on the double down.
if you want to be technical,
Yeah.
you could technically count Rep as a traveling merchant because
Yeah.
he travels and
Yeah.
has a business and does
True.
business wherever
True.
he goes.
But Ilya's was a straight up lie, like just
Oh, yeah,
straight
his
up.
was a straight up lie. No, his was a straight up fucking lie.
Interestingly enough, I kind of disagree. If anybody is a food critic here, not a professional, not a superstar,
Renowned.
not like a renowned food critic.
The renowned
like
part of it was the lie. Let's
True,
be
it-
real.
That's the lie. Everything else is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Food blogger. would
One
be
word
close.
too many, you bitch.
So you guys, you make it past the checkpoint and you get into the sort of edge of the merchant district. It's a little bit of a walk to get to the government section where the Pantheon is. Or the Pantheons, I think is what I called it last time, because it's basically all the gods worship in one building. Yeah, but you are basically inside the merchant district now. There's tons and tons of people everywhere. Basically, loads and loads of people. It's not super tight, but it's not exactly quickly moving. What are you guys doing?
Trying to
For one
keep the
thing,
trail.
One thing I think we should all be following Ilya, but more importantly, I think we're just going to have to call him Cain. We can't just keep calling him old man. That will get confusing. We'll meet another old man, and then we'll say old man. They'll both go yes. Kane. He's Kane.
My head.
Your name, Kane.
So called because of the walking stick with the decorations on the top and the intimidation.
All right, so you guys move on through the merchant district. Nobody really bothers you. Nobody looks at you. There's loads of you don't see any other lizard people, but excuse me, the people here seem to be unaffected by the fact that there are multiple reptilian in nature or saurian people here. They don't really give a shit. The vast majority of them are, again, dressed in their brass, red, and white clothing. And another checkpoint is directly ahead of you, heading into the government district where the religious building is. And again, who's up front this time? Is it Ilya?
No.
Probably have the usual entourage.
Old man is in front of me always.
Okay.
Leading the way.
We're following your super sniffer though.
I'm guiding him.
Oh,
Every
okay.
once in a while, just a little nudge, and he changes direction.
We should come up with a stirrup system and possibly some reins.
Little king shame.
Leash for old man.
Yeah, and again, you guys are stopped by a pair of inquisitors. They both basically have the standard oversized weapons. They're wearing like the helmets, and he's like, hold to the old man. Do you stop?
I pretend to not hear him. Just kind of keep waddling.
I tug back on his robes, like.
Oh. I stop.
Thank you, sir. What is your business in the government district?
I just kind of look over to Ilya.
Give him a mild shove from behind.
Answer him.
I just turn around and start walking away.
Well, hang on there, King. Hang on there. Hang on. No, we're going this way. My good man. He is hard of hearing and also not great at speaking. This is Kane. We are the entourage of this man, and gesture to Ilya. This is the renowned food critic. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at talking and pronouncing names. Say your name one more time.
Yaroslav.
Yaroslav. This is the renowned food critic Yaroslav. We are his entourage. We are going to meet a friend, and then we are heading to the southern district for food at your many fine restaurants. Lahaven.
Oh, okay. Where is your accent from, Mr. How would you say it again?
Yaroslav. Where's his accent from, or my accent? He only said one word.
I would love to know where his accent is from, because he sounds
Me.
unfamiliar.
You are talking to me.
I am, yes. I am.
Where the fuck am I from?
Where are you from?
I don't know if we talk.
Yeah, you could just say some random lizard fucking tribe under our stat. Because they kind of exist everywhere from what I understood.
I was from like the mountains and the warbands, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to tell this guy that.
No.
Surely not, right?
No.
There's the old standby citizen of the world. I'm from everywhere.
Okay.
Muddled accent.
No, I got this.
I'm from small village outside from Bersigny.
Really? That,
Mais oui, mon ami.
Make a deception check, please, at advantage.
You
Alright, he has to roll
Just keep selling the big lies. Just,
he has to roll an 18. He has to roll an 18. And he rolls a 5. Okay.
Nice.
He just looks at you and he says, all right. You all stay safe. Keep an eye out for the bad ones. You know what I mean. Be on your way.
No, thank you, my good man. You too. Stay safe. Keep an eye out for the bad ones. I'm not very good at your native tongue, but I will give it a shot. Qui occupe le fromage?
I'm sorry. What?
I might be saying it wrong. Qui occupe le fromage?
Now, just if you could, just not.
I'm practicing. I apologize if I've offended.
Yes. No offense.
Glyden.
What? He just looks confused and then stops the next people. Yeah, you guys make it to the government district. The blueberry smell is getting very, 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 very pungent. What are you doing?
Smell him this way.
Following Elia. We have to hurry. We don't have very much time left.
We must move fast. Gain.
I pick up my pace a little bit. The axe doesn't hit the ground nearly as often with my steps.
Okay. So time elapsed at this point has been about 25 minutes of walking. The city's quite large. Before you make it just out front of the Pantheon's building. And it's a gigantic, essentially marble structure with like brass reinforcements all the way down. And then there's like a symbol and like label for each and every one of the gods all the way around, except for Moonball. Moonball is not listed. And it's a gigantic open building with a bunch of substructures underneath that are all essentially like, they look like temples or churches. And that's the scene. There's loads and loads of people everywhere. Not like thousands, but like 100 or 200 people are just not necessarily loitering, but not really doing anything in particular. None of them appear to be in a hurry.
Sabas, Elia, we're relying on you two on this one because I unfortunately did not bring my equipment to detect our friend. So you said you bumped into them before?
We have. Elia can smell. That's what we're going off of.
We saw his face.
That's it. But the smell is more long distance, so to speak.
You don't have sticks for finding.
The divining rod? Well,
he does have the divining rod with him.
Wait, do I still have it?
Mm-hmm. You never gave it
back.
Yeah,
you do. You just you never gave it back.
Yeah. Then let's use it.
You pull it out, and the rivet or like the giant railroad spike is actively glowing and vibrating in your hand. It's actually quite warm.
What is the meaning of this message?
It means we're very close. Probably within spitting or seeing distance. Let's look around. Let's see if we recognize anybody.
Perception check. Ilya, technician. You see, Ilya, you see him. He's in one of the temples. He's in the Infold temple. Because the temples are actually open as well. They're just basically pillars with the roof over them.
There. Look.
That's the guy?
This is Soulforged.
Oh, very well. Kane, do you want to talk to him? Or Sabas?
Do I see him after they point him out?
Yeah.
I start walking to the Temple of Infold.
What is he again? He's a
Paladin.
He's a paladin, right?
Yep.
But is what human?
Yep.
Did we have an image last time we saw him?
You did
I
not?
think we did.
Oh, you did.
He
You
was like
did.
a handsome guy, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Cyrus is gonna walk in the temple and then fall behind Kane.
Okay.
I follow.
Okay. You're able to get in there right away, and he's basically sitting there on his knees praying, actually, at the moment.
I kneel down next to him.
Okay. Are you going to pray or no?
No, I'm just going to stare forward.
Okay. Where are you? He just sort of opens his eyes. Greetings. Greetings, sir. Are you here?
Hello.
Are you here to pray?
No.
Walks in temple as if they want to pray, just fucking shouts no.
Then why, I ask, are you here?
Or you?
What does this mean?
I look back to Ilya to like make sure. I assume Ilya and Technician are following in as well.
Yeah, we're all.
Yeah, at the entrance though, doing the Vidar thing, standing in doorways, you know.
I kind of look back for confirmation that this is the guy.
Travis.
Blueberries.
What about them? What do you mean?
You
I
sell them?
No. I use them as I usually drink or eat them every morning. It's been a long time ritual of mine every morning.
Oh. Someone told me you sold blueberries.
He just squints at you and stands up and brushes off his armor. I do not. All of you hear the sound of plate mail echoing through this area.
There we go.
And you look to essentially, it's on like the southeast edge of this circle, and on the northwest, so basically on the other side in the main building, you see a hulking giant of a man. You see this man walking up to him.
As this is happening, I'm trying to stand up, and I kind of fake trip into this the Soulforged, and kind of use him as leverage to hold myself up. Can you help me get back to my friends?
Of course. And he literally pulls you up by the arm and starts moving you back to everyone else.
I would like to understand the threat level of this large being.
Go ahead and make me a religion check, please, everybody. Technician, you're not really familiar. But and all of you understand the concept of the voice. This man is the voice of Infold. So he's literally the avatar of the god on the planet.
Who is Infold again?
Infold the ill-tempered.
Oh, Angie.
Yeah.
What's my
Who's
god?
an angry little man?
And as far as
Who's an angry little man?
far as you've heard, his name is Stein. Stein, the voice of Infold.
Great.
And he walks over as like Kane is being picked up, and he just walks over and pushes the Soulforged on his chest, and his finger is like massive. This dude is not only big like in stature, but every part of him is like basically expanded. The dude probably weighs like 800 pounds just from muscle density alone. He's not wearing any armor. He's wearing a big old collar around his neck that links to like a sort of harness that he has on his body. And then he has these giant like essentially metal things embedded into his skull. And he looks down and he pokes him. And the guy looks up. He goes, "We're okay. Don't need to be this way." He just nods, looks at Kane, and literally his hand is big enough that he can wrap his whole hand around your body. Like, that's how big Stein is. And he literally picks you up with one hand, walks you over to Sabis, Ilya, and Technician, and puts you down. He just nods at you.
Thank you.
He just nods at you. Looks back at the Soulforged. Nods. And then you see some... Will you make an insight check for me, everybody? You look as something washes over his face as he looks down at you. There is a form of communication that only one of you would be familiar with, and that's Technician. And he looks at you and does the sign for head death.
To me?
To both you,
No,
you and Frinkle. Frank, you and Frank. He's looking at both of you, and he does the sign, the literal like sign language for head death.
I think he might. One second. Let me check. And Rep is going to do this.
He just looks at you and nods deeply.
Well, thank you. We're going to talk to your friend here real quick.
He just nods.
I'm gonna sign it back. I'm assuming sign language is this guy's first language.
Yep.
Sign common.
It's his only.
Okay.
Well, he can understand you. He can hear you, but he can't speak. He's very clearly mute.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be that guy. He's very clearly mute. So he speaks in sign.
Got it. Rudimentary sign language. Gonna just say thank you back. And
he just looks at you and he says, and he just stays there. He's actually looks to be very aware of his surroundings, and literally like moving between you and any Inquisitors that are outside.
It's okay. He's cool. I'm gonna talk to the Paladin. If that's okay with you, Kane.
Are there a lot of people in the Temple of Infold? Obviously it's open, it's just pillars, but are there a lot of people like in the direct
No,
vicinity?
not really. There's not a lot of people in any of the temples. They're usually just in the large building, because the inside of the building has these gigantic enamel art structures that are inside that basically are like either that some of them have gigantic marble structures, statues of the actual god itself. Some of them have giant enamel tapestries on the back. Some of them are like paintings that go all the way across. They're like super shiny and sealed and like everything. And basically every form of art you could think of that would go toward the dedication of the gods. That's what most people are here for. It's literally, this is like one of the wonders of the world is this building because of how much effort it must have taken to build and then do the art structures within it. Not necessarily because people are religious, but it's sort of a pilgrimage to come and see like the world dedication to whatever god that you worship. So most of them are not in temples. They are in the main building, which is about 200 or 300 feet away from you at the moment.
And given that he had talked to Stein and Stein was like responding to our voices, he can understand common. He just can only sign back.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, do you by chance have a quiet place I can rest my feet?
Are you saying that to Stein or to the guy?
Yeah, to Stein. I hope my intentions here are clear to Stein. I don't know if he's dumb.
He looks.
So we're clear here. Stein is the mute giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's a mute, literal giant. Like he's a not just giant in stature, like literal, probably actual species giant. Like he was born this way. Like he's born massive. He looks down at you, and he points backwards. Like there's a small, like secluded section of the building that has a door to it. And then he looks at you, Loershik, and he goes, and then he points up.
Is he suggesting that he can see me?
Yeah, he points up, and then he points to his eyes. Because he's literally pointing at the statue of Infold. He's literally pointing at it. And then he does this with the thing, and then he puts his fingers through it. Like that. Like you very clearly notice he's like I can see you. I know you. I know what you are.
He's saying he recognizes you, but that's okay. He's cool. He's friendly. Go hide him.
What? What, Sabas? What's up?
Thinking. Sabas is gonna look up at Stein and telepathically ask, "Sign is slow. I can let you speak your thoughts if you would like to elaborate further."
It's been a long time since
I have to ask, so I'm gonna do that now.
What's up?
I was asking for permission for doing
Yes.
this. Okay, so I will use my feat feature to cast
Do it.
Detect Thoughts.
Do it. He looks at you and he says, "It's been a long, long time since I could speak, but I can see you, all of you, as you are. I am your ally."
Thank you. We assume so from the fact that you can see us and didn't call the Inquisitors.
No.
Again, this is all telepathic.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend over there is important to us.
Is he what I think he is? My god explained it to me.
How sacred are thoughts? Is there a chance an Inquisitor can be reading this?
No, they don't.
Okay.
They don't deal with that stuff.
Is that it? Just wondering.
No, the Inquisitors would have to be arcane magic users in order to do that. Or thought, and the god,
hypocrisy, you know.
The god they worship is not a knowledge god.
Okay.
So no, they literally the Inquisitors cannot do it because Zulvuk is not a knowledge god. You would have to be a knowledge cleric of some sort in order to intercept your thoughts. So,
Stavis is going to look up and sign. Yes, he is a Soulforged. We are under the guise for the reason that we are being tracked by his enemy, or our enemies and his enemy, and we need to take him with us. Perhaps you, if your presence would. No, understood.
No. I will escort you to a safe place that only the voice may go.
Appreciate it.
We have a shrine in this building. I will take you there. Follow me.
And I entrust you to guide your paladin friends to join us.
As you guys are having this conversation, technician, you're going to talk to the Soulforged, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that real quick. Are you doing anything, Lorishik or Ilya? Are you doing anything notable?
Hiding.
Hiding.
Yeah, very well.
Okay.
I'm just
But
standing
how
next to
well?
Stein like he's my buddy.
Incredibly well.
Okay, so technician,
Nerdily.
what do you say? What do you say to him?
Young man, I apologize for my friend before. He's not quite good at speaking or thinking or listening. But listen, he recognizes in you a great potential. How much do you bench? Shall I even?
Excuse me?
My friend, the old man, Kane. Kane is his name.
Okay.
He recognizes in you a great potential. And I was wondering if you would like to discuss it with us, possibly on our way to the South District, or maybe in the presence of your large friend there. And we would just like to talk to you about it. That's all.
Sure. I would be more than happy to talk to you as we walk. And at this point,
Absolutely.
Stein and Sabbath stop like staring at each other awkwardly, and everyone else thinks it's like, what is happening there? But if Vidar was here, he would know.
well, they all know that I'm telepathic.
Yeah. It just looks a little weird. But Stein turns to both of you, and he points in a direction into the main building. There's a large building connected to the very tippy top north side that has a large door connected to it. A large wooden door that's been braced with brass and bronze bracings. And he just points over to the door.
I'll head for the door.
Okay. Zyril accompanies you guys. Yeah. Ilya, are you going?
Yep.
Lorishik, you assume you're going? Okay.
Yep.
Sabas, you're accompanying as well?
Just walking side by side with Stein.
Okay. He walks over to the door, and he literally puts his hand up to it, and this big sort of... For him, it would be essentially what the symbol that's basically engraved all over the divining rod is essentially what proliferates on the door. And the door, you didn't notice this before, but the door was one giant solid piece of wood from the floor to the ceiling. One solid piece of wood. Literally no hinges, nothing. He puts his hand on the door, and they swing open onto inward. Slam open as he puts his hand on the door. And he just points into the darkness.
I'll head in.
Okay.
I'm going in there and I'm touching everything. No, I'm kidding.
Can I do an insight check?
On Stein?
I want to determine whether or not... Yeah, I want to determine whether or not this is... he's leading us into a trap.
Sure. No. He's being genuine. Absolutely.
I walk in.
Yeah, Savas will have relayed telepathically because I can speak out, but not in normally to all of them. Stein is on our side, and he knows who you two are. And he knows what the paladin is. Like, we're all on the same page here. It's a little snake in the back of your brain going, hey, it's okay.
Ilya, are you going inside?
Yeah. Do I not have dark vision?
No.
I am living in your walls.
Dragonborn do not have dark vision.
That's a first. Okay.
Yeah, it's his first.
Yeah, I go in.
Stein pulls the doors closed behind you, and they sort of grow back together, and then a light from you don't actually know where from begins to illuminate this gigantic cavern. It's very strange looking, except that you notice that it's literally this cavern is littered and pockmarked everywhere with all of the symbols and iconography for a Soulforger. But you do not have Vidar with you. And that's where we're going to leave this episode of Soulforged.
Where is Vidar? Come back, Vidar.
Vidar is back at camp, being stoic.
He is. And then, yeah, and we'll bring this up next, is it? We are playing next week, right? Someone's missing next week?
I thought somebody said they were out May
10th. He said 10th, which is the week after next week.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm out like a month from now, so.
Okay. So we're good for next week then. We should be good for next week.
We should be good for next week.
Okay. Yeah. Then I hope that Bisbee is here. If not, we'll figure it out. Yeah. And then coming in May, I'm going to have a regular streaming schedule where I'm going to do community games and one-shots and stuff, and also playing video games with people. So coming in May, I'm going to be consistently streaming. So if you're interested in hanging out playing, join the Discord. And then we'll see you guys next week. Everyone stay safe, do the right thing, be good. Don't be a jerk to people. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye!